is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to y'all with a quick video. I wanted to let you guys know I got some new merchandise available, not just t-shirt anymore. I got different type of t-shirt, different type of shirts and logos that you can purchase on my spread shirt, and also hoodies now. We have expanded and added more to the channel and more merchandise for the brand. Thanks for supporting. It will be in the description and the links will be in the comment section below. Thanks for helping me and supporting the movement. Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis. I'm going to check out the video. What's good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to y'all with a quick video. We're going to talk about Coach Fizdale finally getting fired from the New York Knicks, which we all thought and knew was going to eventually happen anyway, as Fizdale hasn't been able to get the team to win that many games, and they've been getting embarrassed by a lot of teams, and they haven't really shown any growth from last year, and their young players haven't even developed into anything significant. They still look bad, and they don't look like they actually got that much better since last year, which is a problem because they brought David Fizdale in to be a development coach and really try to get the best out of their young players. And he was put in a tough situation because you knew they wasn't going to win that many games because they were so young, but they decided to get a lot of veterans and tough guys this year and free agency to speed up the process a little bit. But I was one of the people that disagreed because when I looked at this roster and I seen all the young talent, if you're going to rebuild, you want your young talent to really develop, especially since they had so much of it with Kevin Knox and Trier, Dennis Smith Jr., Frank Ntilikina, Mitchell Robinson. You have so much young talent that you have drafted or traded for that you want to give them those minutes like you did last year to see what you really got and to see what you can continually build on and who do you want and who you don't want to keep long term. And the best way to find that out is by allowing them to play. And the only way they can increase their value is by going out there and playing, because teams going to trade for somebody that they like or they feel like they can fix or they feel like got potential. If they're not able to show that potential or able to show that growth, then it's kind of tough to trade for somebody or want somebody that you really don't know what you're getting. And that's what you do when you draft. But after you draft a player, a lot of people watch them, a lot of people are interested, but the best way to make their value increase is letting them play, because then at the end of the day, they see the growth, they see more upside in them, and teams are willing to make a gamble or take a risk on one of the young players. But that still doesn't excuse, David Fizdale. He knew the situation coming in, how bad the Knicks was as an organization, not even as a team, but just as an organization. They knew the problems with James Dolan. They knew that they was unstable and they really didn't have a direction they wanted to really go in. One minute they're clearing cap space, the next minute they're giving the contracts to the wrong guys and free agency. And it actually, like I said, clouded their ability to really get their young players to get where they needed to be. So I was a little lost, not just for David Fizdale's job, but what they were trying to accomplish the last 3-4 years. And I thought that, Fizdale got to get some of the blame just because he knew the situation he was coming into. And I thought the writing was on the wall. I didn't think that Fizdale could literally make this team a legitimate championship team, because even with Memphis, he showed that he can coach. He showed that he can coach winning basketball, but he had a significant amount of talent compared to this Knicks team, where this team is still trying to figure out to find out what's their identity. They're still trying to find out who to go with. They're still trying to find out who their best players are. And, this team don't have a future franchise guy. I do not look at Dennis Smith Jr. as a franchise player. I do not look at Mitchell Robinson as being the number one option. I don't look at R.J. Barrett as being a legitimate number one option that can lead you to a title. And the same thing goes for Alonzo Trier and guys like Frank Ntilikina. Like, they have talent, they can play, but it hasn't really translated into a positive thing so far in the NBA season. So it's tough to watch the team like the Knicks. Their defense is just so bad, and their offense can get so stagnant, or they rely on guys that's trying to just put up numbers. A lot of these guys don't even play team basketball. They just do whatever they want when they got the ball, and most of the time it's isolation. They don't really have guys that's really moving the ball, trusting each other, playing at the same time, playing at the same level. Even defensively, it's not that much communication. Guys are not even putting a lot of effort and rotating. They're not putting a lot of effort to close out the gaps and stop penetration or closing out to a shooter. It's like this Knicks team, you know, with all the young players, they just don't understand how to win in this league, and it's understandable because a lot of them never was put in a situation where they could, and that's why I can see what Mills was trying to do. But the guys he brought over, Portis is not really a winning player. Neither is guys like Julius Randle. They haven't really won that much in their career, and they really haven't done as much in their career. Even though Morris is having a decent season, he hasn't really did anything significant when it comes to winning basketball games and really kind of contributing to winning in the playoffs. Yeah, he did a good job with the Celtics, but that's a whole different type of group compared to this Knicks team. And now I'm just gonna figure out. I got to figure out what they're gonna do now that Fizdale is finally grown. Is they gonna pick a coach that can legitimately get them to where they want? And I want to see if the manager can really put a significant amount of talent together to see if this team can get back to the playoffs. Because as currently built, they're not built for a playoff run, even if they get a new coach. And they have to figure out who they're really trying to build around because a lot of their rookies are on their rookie contract and it's about to start coming up when you have to start paying these guys, and you're not going to be able to pay all of these guys to stay around. So some of these guys they're going to have to let go by trade, and some of these guys they're going to have to take a gamble on and really underpay them or overpay them, and that's going to be the risk. So the Knicks is in a situation because they don't have enough good talent that can really get them a superstar, but they also don't have enough to compete for a playoff spot. Plus, I don't really know a coach that can take this roster and really turn them into a seventh or eighth seed. Which the only reason I bring that up because it sounds easy because you can be below 500 in the Eastern Conference and still make it to the playoffs at the end of the day. And we done seen that the last couple years. But the Knicks haven't even been able to get close to 35, 40 wins ever since they traded Porzingis and Carmelo, who was the last couple All-Stars on this roster that allowed them, to get some type of hope and allowed them to make it to the playoffs. But they never did anything significant when they got to the playoffs. So this Knicks team has been irrelevant, and they haven't been able to get it right in over 20 years. Now I want to see what they're going to do going in this next direction because I'm confused. I don't know what's happening. I really don't know what they're really trying to do with this roster and this team. But, it only takes a couple moves to get them back in the right direction. And Steve Mills might have to go, just like Fizdale had to go. And the problem is James Dolan hasn't been able to hire the right coach. He hasn't been able to hire the right GM that can literally turn his team into a future playoff team at worst. Now they got a good job with Melo, but they didn't even make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, which means they was never a legitimate contender, even when they had one of the top 15 players in Carmelo Anthony. So that just show you how bad luck it is to be in New York. No free agent has been running to New York or trying to go to New York. That's another thing is getting guys that want to come, getting guys that really want to put their career on the map by going to New York. The biggest free agent they signed was Amari Stoudemire, and they was able to trade for Carmelo. The only problem is they would have bound it the wrong way, and they really could have been a better team. Not only that, they really could have, put out a better product in general that probably could have made them even better and make them have a deeper run. But it was just small mistakes like rushing and trying to capitalize on situations quick, which we all have those problems. But it's different when you're trying to build a team that can legitimately be a threat. If you got a team with Amari Stoudemire and Carmelo, you definitely should make it further than just the second round, especially because they still was top 20 players at that point, and Carmelo probably was higher at that point, but they never really did anything significant, even when they had Carmelo. So I really want to know and see what happens in New York because they just so far away from being normal. They so far away from being successful that it's just hard to be a Knicks fan. Luckily, I'm a Celtics fan. I'm spoiled, but the Knicks fan has been miserable and they have been angry and frustrated because James Dolan and the Knicks haven't been able to get it right in over 20 years. Sad part about it, they have no hope currently that can help them change that around, which means they might be bad for a couple more years. And that's why I feel sad for the New York Knicks fans because they haven't done anything wrong. They have been faithful. They have been loyal. They still go to the games, even though their organization is not putting out a great product or even going in the right direction where you have hope for a great product. But what they have been able to do is just mess up time and time again. And as a fan of the Celtics, I don't have to go through these things, even though we haven't won a title since 2008. And that's the only one we done won over the last 20, 30 years too. But at least we got a competitive team that's fun to watch and good to cheer about. The Knicks haven't had that in years. And sadly, it don't look like it's going to be happening anytime soon. But let me know what you guys think about Fizdale getting fired and the Knicks and their future. I'm gone. Like this video, check out my older videos on my channel. I have many playlists. I break down rookies. I break down players. I break down summer league. I do cover the draft, and I got a mock draft up already. Not only that, I do podcasts, and I also talk about the game of basketball, whether it comes to summer league, free agency, trade deadline, buyouts, and also I cover top 10 discussions and stuff like that. So you like this type of video, you like the NBA, check out my older videos and my playlists. I enjoy making these videos. You guys enjoy watching.